welcome to Unit 1, Part 2. We're going to continue on with expressions, and we're going to be looking at continuing to simplify. Today we're going to focus on distributive property. We're going to be talking all about the distributive property, so here we go. The whole goal of the distributive property is to take an expression and get rid of those parentheses. So here's how we do it. This 3 means I have 3 groups of x plus 5. And so what that means is I've got one group plus a second group plus a third group. So I've got 3 groups of x plus 5. I have 1, 2, 3 x's plus 5, 10, 15 plus 15. I have 3x plus 15. That's applying the distributive property. It's taking 3 groups of x plus 5 and putting them together. Over here, we have 5 times the quantity 2 plus 4m. So that means I have 2 plus 4m 5 times. So here's 1, here's 2, here's 3, there's 4, and that's 5. All right? So now what we're going to do is combine these all together. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. 4m plus 4m is 8m, plus 4m is 12, plus 4m is 16, plus 4m is 20m. Now, you might say, well, is there a shortcut? Like, do I really have to write everything down? And the answer is no. A shortcut that you could use and do what works for you, that's the important thing, is I could say I have 3 x's, so 3 times x is 3x, and I have 3 5's, and 3 times 5 is 15. Or over here, I have 5 2's, 5 times 2 is 10, and I have 5 4m's. 5 times 4m is 20m. You could absolutely do that as well. On the next slide, we have some practice. So I want to work through this practice with you. We are going to utilize the shortcut, and I'm going to show you how a method is that you can show your work. You need to show some process because I'm only seeing you 2 days a week. I need to make sure that and some of you I'm only seeing once a week. I need to see that there's some kind of process, okay? So we're going to take 4 times 3, and I'm going to write that out, plus 4 times 6x. This is the process I'm using. Now, if you would rather take it and write 3 plus 6x, plus 3 plus 6x, plus 3 plus 6x, plus 3 plus 6x, do that. It's all about doing what works for you, okay? So we're taking 4 times 3, 4 times 6x. 4 times 3 is 12. 4 times 6x is 24x. And that is it. That's it. That's what we're working on. Okay? Let's try the next one. 3 times 2 plus, there's my plus sign, 3 times y. 3 times 2 is 6. 6 plus 3y. That's my answer. That's it. Okay? Let's look at the next one. 5 times x plus 5 times 7. Whoops. I'm going to show my process first. 5 times x is 5x. 5 times 7 is 35. There we go. 4 times 6 plus 4 times n. 4 times 6 is 24, plus 4 times n is 4n. Here we go. Distributive property. All right? Taking that form. We're going to do one more. And then you're going to get some time to work. I threw in some negatives in here because it's important to know how to do this with both positives and negatives. It's the same process. So don't let the negatives throw you off at all. It's the same process. So here's how we go. 3 times 5x bring down this sign, minus 3 times 8. 3 times 5x is 15x. 3 times 8 is 24. 15x minus 24. Looking at the next one. Whoa. All I see is a negative in front of that. You see that? All I see is a negative in front. What I want you to do is put a 1 in the middle. Right there. Okay? When you don't see a number, we assume it's a 1 because any number times 1 is itself, so we don't often put that down. So I'm going to take negative 1 times 4, carry this sign down, minus negative 1 times x. Negative 1 times 4. Negative times positive is negative. 1 times 4 is 4. Negative 4 minus negative times positive is negative. 1 times x is negative 1x. I want you to get to a point where you recognize if it's subtracting a negative that it's really the same as addition. So the final answer would be negative 4 plus 1x. Now you're probably wondering, what if I leave it as negative 4 minus negative 1x? Will Ms. Shopper mark it wrong? No, I'm not going to mark it wrong. But what I want you to do is to be able to get to the point where you can recognize that those two negatives make it a positive, okay? Over here, negative 5 times negative x, so negative 5 times negative x, plus negative 5 times 6. Negative times negative is positive, so 5x, so negative times negative is positive, 5 times x is 5x. Negative times positive is negative, 5 times 6 is 30. Negative 5x plus negative 30. What I want you to do is pause the video. Actually, stop. Hold that for a minute. Don't pause the video. Don't. I just recognized something. This looks a little different. Okay? This is an example I'm going to show you. I don't think you're going to really see any of these, but it's good to see. When you have a 2x times 3x, so it's going to be 3x times 2x. Outside, even though it's on the back, it's still outside, times 3x plus 4 times 2x. 3 times 2 is 6. X times x is x squared. It's the inverse of square root. Remember when we talked about perfect squares, that 49 is a perfect square because 7 times 7 is 49. 7 squared is 49. 7 times 7 is 7 squared. That builds us over here. When you take a number or a variable times itself, it's squared. So we have 6x squared plus 4 times 2 is 8x. And that's our answer. So you'll have some practice on distributive property, and then we're going to get into combining like terms next. I hope you're having a fabulous day, and until next time,